Okay, everybody, it is now 1:01, and I want to welcome you. This is Sylvia Dana, and I am in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And a couple of things about me. Let's see. I have been in EXP now since August 1st of 2017, and I held my first Lunch and Learn on August 17th of 2017. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that today, as well as all kinds of events that we could do to grow our businesses and our influence with events. So that's the topic today. So let me just turn around because I'm recording too, and I want people to see the screen. I just have to figure out what I'm going to do here. So you just bear with me. All right, so we'll get started. Okay. All right. So what I'd love to hear about is I'd love to hear what events you do already, the kind of events you've done, or what kind of events you want to do as part of your real estate business. And you can, if you just type it in the chat, that would be best. So I'd love to start getting some feedback. So events that you've done in your real estate business, events that you are currently actively doing in your business, types of events that you want to do, any type of event that would help you in your real estate business. Home buyer seminar, great. Jerry, is that something that you've done or that you want to do? Tama would like to do a first-time home buyers event. That's great. And she's never done an event before. Great, Jerry. Okay, so you've done a home buyer seminar. What else? Who else has something? Marisol would like to get involved with the community in regards to better homes and gardens. Oh, you'll have to tell me what you're talking about there, but okay, great. What else? Other types of events you would like to do in your business, or you have done, or you are doing. Client parties. Yes, okay, great. Love it. And Marisol, go ahead and type in a little bit about what you're talking about with the better homes and gardens, because I'm not familiar. And got 3 other people writing me a message, so I'm looking for it. Previous team brokerage, she did First Friday wine share. I don't know what that is, but it sounds fantastic. Also an Easter egg hunt, probably for the community or clients. Marissa said the farming area, get involved with a landscaper and designer, and then grow the value of the area and make it more profitable. Oh, okay. Jerry just registered her neighborhood with her city of 1,800 households. Oh, for that same program that Marisol is talking about, Jerry? I want to learn about this. Okay. Ursula is talking about a neighborhood, community, or block party type thing. Great. Networking with small businesses in the area to build a referral network. I love it. Anybody else? A couple more ideas and then we'll get started here. Okay. Yep, the Nextdoor app. That's not an event though. You could create an event on the Nextdoor app. In fact, I forgot to mention that in my presentation, so great. Okay, yes, awesome. Okay, fantastic, good. That's a good start. So based on all the different types of events you could probably do, and we're going to talk about some of those, how do you feel, or how would you rate your success with events? Would you say, sad face or red? Would you say not great with the orange, or neutral, kind of with the yellow, mint green for pretty okay, and then really green for fantastic on your events? How would you rate yourself at this point? Okay, orange, Jerry, fair enough. You want more from yourself. Okay. Who else? Anybody else want to rate themselves? Okay, 4 out of 5. Always can improve. Okay, Rose is doing Pretty good. Yeah, we can always improve. Absolutely. Well, I hope that some of you have, and Suzanne hasn't done anybody yet. So we probably have a mixture of people who've never done an event, people who've done lots of events. And so we're going to all learn from each other. So I invite you all to keep, write in the chat and give your ideas. We can all learn from each other. This is collaborative. So why should we do events? Why should we do events? I'm going to give you some quotes from one of my favorite, motivational people, and that's Grant Cardone. I'm in San Diego right now. I live in Michigan, you guys, but I'm in San Diego visiting my aunt, and she's not in San Diego, she's actually in Oceanside, but I flew into San Diego. And so I'm doing this from my little vacation here, so you're welcome. Anyway, but I was listening to a little bit of Grant Cardone earlier, and my aunt was like, wow, that's pretty hardcore there. I'm like, yeah, he's intense, but I love him. So some quotes from Grant Cardone. Our favorite for this group is when we're talking about not being a little bitch. Okay, that's our favorite thing. Okay, so one reason that we want to do events is we want to dominate. So we don't compete, we dominate. Okay, we become the expert. We become the go-to person. So that's one reason. We're not here just to make money, we're here to make a difference. And you can make a difference with a variety of kind of events and add value, right? Obscurity is a bigger problem than money. So one thing Grant Cardone talks about is breaking through obscurity. If you're just flying under the radar and you're just moving from client to client, that is great. But if you want to position yourself with a little more influence as to be somebody in your market, you can be a brand new agent and do this by breaking through that obscurity with different types of events. So don't just be a spectator, is what he says, be a player. And so by being a player, you're getting involved and you're setting yourself up as an expert. And that's what we're doing with events, someone who brings value. And then again, that dominating in business and being our expert in our space, that's why we're doing it, okay? Plus, it's really fun. So for me, it's just fun. So, for example, and it can lead to a lot of great things. And I'm just going to start with a story from when I was young. I was 20 years old, 19 maybe, and I had an experience in my first year of college where I sold spring break trips as part of my student government project, where we sold spring break trips to make money. So the company gave us $10 for every trip we sold, and then we got a free trip for every 10 trips we sold. So it was a fundraiser. So it was just me and another guy who was selling these trips. So he and I had a ton of free trips to give to our friends, which was super fun. And we made a lot of money for our student government. So I switched colleges to a smaller college, but a college where you could actually stay on campus. It was a junior college, Northwestern Michigan College in Traverse City, Michigan. And I went to the student government when I got there and I said, do you guys have this where you can sell spring break trips? Because you can make some money and I'm happy to help, And they're like, no, we don't want to do that, but you can do that. So I was like, really? I can? They're like, sure, go ahead. So I sold the trips and I recruited a couple of my friends to help me sell these trips. I mean, I guess I've always been a little entrepreneur and just didn't realize it at that time. So I sold these trips. I sold 60 trips and had 6 trips to give away, and I made $600 and it was lovely. But as I was getting ready to promote it, I had an idea to go to the local, bar where they had college night on Thursday nights. And I went to the bar owner and said, hey, I know you have this great college night Thursday nights. I'm selling spring break trips at Northwestern Michigan College. I'm wondering if I could come in on college night and I could promote this spring break. We can have a spring break party. and I could promote these trips, and I'll bring in vendors, I'll bring in tanning booths, we'll have bikini contests, we'll do all this stuff. And he's like, sure, if you want to come in and organize all that, great. So I totally did, and we had a great time, and he totally hired me after that to like run all his events. So that was my job in college. And it made me somebody. I was like promoting bands and doing all this stuff I would have never gotten to do, but it was fun for me. It was play. So that's a little bit. Okay. So let's go over the steps we can take. And let's see. Hang on, I'm going to zoom in my screen so people can see when I do the recording. There we go. Okay. So now people can see as I'm recording this, people can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so now let's talk about the steps that we can take to put together an event to start, okay? And then we're gonna talk about types of events. So the first thing we wanna do is we wanna partner with a sponsor, okay? This is not stuff that we have to pay for ourselves necessarily or invest a lot of money in. And as a new agent, you really can't do that anyway, right? So the types of sponsors, the first one is a lender. That's the first sponsor you are going to get. The second sponsor you want is a title rep. So these are my two guys. Here they are. On the left, that's 𝗍𝗃𝗖𝗍𝗍. He's my title rep. And on the right, that's 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗍, and he's one of my lenders. And they're actually in the corner of this meeting room I often do events in. They're working, but they're still part of the event. But they're in their little corner working. And these guys, I know I can count on them when I'm doing an event to participate. And it's great for them because they meet other realtors and they get a chance to talk about what they offer and can set appointments for later. And then they can be somebody too in their space. They get more known. And so, you want to partner with a title company and maybe a lender or two that could help you with different events, okay? So that's the first thing that you want to do. Besides a lender or title rep, maybe an inspector, maybe a new home builder sales rep. I'm getting ready to do, on September 14th, I'm getting ready to do a home buyer seminar that is specifically for people who want to buy an Allen Edwin new home. Allen Edwin is a home builder in my area, and if they want to come in and learn how to go through the process of buying a new construction home, or actually helping to pick out their own, what they want in their home and help, choose the packages and the things. So we're going to do that. And so we're doing that, and she's hosting it, as well as a lender who works with this particular builder, and we're going to do it together. They're going to provide all the food and stuff and help me invite people, and I'll invite people, and we're going to get some business out of it. So that's an example. I also did one like that, you guys, with a new home builder sales rep in one of a model home, and I invited a lot of my not my past clients, but my sphere to come. And I had about 8 people come, and we all sat in this really nice living room. And she bought like 𝗀𝗄𝗏, the rep, and I had a lender there, and we went through the home buying process and talked about if you wanted to buy a new home, what that would look like. But this one's going to be the next one we're going to do is real specific on specifically Allen Edwin homes. So other types of sponsors, appraiser, maybe a financial advisor, CPA. I have a tax guy right now coming in and helping me sponsor some lunch and learns. I've also had a photography company come and sponsor a lunch and learn. Maybe a cleaning company, a real estate attorney, real estate marketing company, like someone who sells leads or, runs people's social media for them. And then other local businesses like, your local restaurants or local bars even to help you host and sponsor an event. So those are some ideas. Who else wants to, somebody gave an idea of roofer. It all starts with the balloon, Jerry, it totally does. I'm going to talk about balloons, actually. That's funny. So what insurance agent? Yes, I have had insurance agent sponsor. That's awesome. Yes, a general contractor. Absolutely. Other ideas for sponsors? Anybody else? So, you know, you might have an event idea in mind specifically already when you go to these sponsors, but maybe you don't. And maybe you go with this, you know, find one of these sponsors and say, look, I'm looking to do an event of some sort. You know, because there's different types of people you want to reach out to as an EXP real estate agent. There are, number one, real estate clients, right? Your past clients, your sphere, your prospects, your referrals, potential clients. So those are one group that you want to reach out to, but the other group you want to reach out to are other realtors. And so that gives you lots of opportunities to ask vendors to help you promote EXP because they're going to get a lot of opportunities to meet other realtors. So, and that's what they want. They want to meet realtors. So if you can get some of your vendor partners in front of other realtors, that's great. So let's talk about now the types of events. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to choose our event type. So some of you might have done some of these before, or maybe you've never done them, but we're going to talk about them, okay? And the first one, obviously, is open houses and broker open houses. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking in detail about each one of these types of events, but I do want to highlight a couple, okay? So this is where I want you to maybe even take notes, because if you're interested in doing events or we need a new idea for an event, you know, you might want to take notes. So first of all, we're just going to talk about open houses and broker opens for a minute. So broker open houses in my area are not super popular. They're not happening a lot. Yes, 𝗀𝗵𝗂𝗀𝗃. I will post this PowerPoint, certainly, so that you can access it. I do have some links in there as well. Let's see. So anyway, so broker open houses are not super popular in our area, but you know, a lot of other agents do try, especially with their really unique listings or higher end listings. And, you know, they make it an event. They have, so this particular one on the left-hand side, Anne is an agent in my area. Nobody tried to recruit her because my business partner and I are trying to do that. but anyway, so she had this really nice listing, and she had, you know, all kinds of food and drink and beverages from a local brewery. And so it's great because people, you know, other realtors will get, you know, interested in coming to see the house because they'll do some kind of, you know, food tasting of some sort and can network. So that's something. But also, if you maybe, I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but maybe if you you know, make it more like this is a networking event, I personally think that realtors are more likely to come to a networking event in the venue of a fancy house than they are just to come to a broker open in itself. But that's just my opinion. Other people might disagree. Second, the open house itself, the mega open house. This is, you know, Tom Ferry has a great mega open house strategy. And when I share these slides, you'll be able to watch the video and also see the blog post of his total strategy. I mean, it's a big production, it's a big thing, but he talks about really how to leverage your listings to the max by just doing a great open house and doing all the promotion for it and doing all the follow-up for it. And it, you know, it's a chore, but it can be really worthwhile, and it's in a way that you're promoting a property and nobody else is doing it. Really, very few agents take the time to do it. So it can really be worth it, and could lead to a possible listings and buyers for you in a way that you wouldn't get if you just, you know, opened a door and offered water and cookies, you know. So Okay, so that's step one. Okay, so sorry, I'm gonna quickly go back up to where I'm going to talk about these things. Okay, all right. Where am I? Okay. Choose event type. That's where we are. Okay, so open houses and broker opens. All right, and then some of you already mentioned client appreciation parties. So that is great. So someone in EXP, I'm vegan, okay, and I have a vegan group in EXP called the Vegan 𝗸𝗃𝗵𝗵 or something like that. And so another vegan agent, she hosted a party at her house where she had a vegan food truck come to her home, and she invited like everybody. And so, you know, that was something cool that she did. You know, there's a variety of different things you could do. One thing that kind of ties into client appreciation, I think, and community and volunteering, and I'm going to talk about those things in a minute too, but I just want to mention, because it's in my mind, is the client appreciation part. And I want to talk about closing gifts with client appreciation. So if you all know, 𝗀𝗃𝗘𝗍𝗃, who's EXP, and I brought in a class into Real Estate 101 a few weeks ago with her. She was the speaker. I brought her in, and she talked about referrals for a living, and she talked about her closing gifts briefly. And what she does, instead of buying a gift, she takes $50 from every transaction, and she buys a bike to donate to 𝗀𝗏𝗄𝗃. So by the end of the year, just before Christmas, she and her husband have like this, you know, they do 40 to 50 sales a year, and she has 40 to 50 bikes there ready to donate. And they do, like, the press comes, there's a newspaper article, there's video, there's news stories, and it is an event, because the event is donating all these bikes, and they do it like as a, you know, this is what they're doing, and you know, shows all the bikes, and they're collecting the bikes, and they're buying the bikes, and you know, and they make it an event. And I mean, how powerful is that? Not only to show appreciation to your client, but your client can feel good about, instead of you giving them like a plaque or something that says the Millers established 2019, can donate a bike to 𝗀𝗏𝗄𝗃. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that one. Okay, buyer seller education. We talked about the home buyer seminar. So my first home buyer seminar that was really successful, actually, I did it focused on the credit challenge. It was called Home Buying for the Credit Challenged. And I had a credit specialist there, as well as a lender who was good with credit challenges, and myself, and then a title company helped provide I think some food. Yes, that's it. So anyway, so we had dinner. It was a pizza dinner, just real simple pizza dinner and soda. And you know, I did do a Facebook boost for the event. And I sent an invite to my sphere, and you know, I had a great turnout. And I'm still in touch with many of those people, and I'm going to talk about follow-up in a minute. Somebody's saying, any ideas for a home seller seminar? You know, my best idea, Maria, at the moment is if you're working with seniors who want to downsize, so empty nesters or seniors who are looking to downsize and need advice, that is, I think, the most successful possibility to actually have people show up. In addition, my new construction, or buying a brand new home, or building a home seminar, I'm hoping can almost turn into a seller seminar in a way, because we're going to talk about how to sell a home in order to buy a new one, and what that means. So we're going to talk about those aspects. The other way that you can do a home seller seminar, instead of doing a home seller seminar, is doing interviews with lenders. And I mean, doing interviews, video interviews, and we're going to talk about that as a type of event, by the way. Doing a video event, interviewing with a lender. For example, I have one lender, and he focuses on a program that he's developed called Equity Forward. It's kind of like a bridge loan, but he developed it and it works much better. He's really proud of it. It has a lot of more benefits to it, but the idea is taking all the equity from your home and being able to work that in a deal for buying a new home, and still being able to do that in a way that you can buy the new home without selling your first home first. But so he's developed this, and that is sort of going to be great tips for home sellers. So let me know what ideas you guys have for home sellers, but I'll continue on. So beyond just clients, Marisol, I don't know. It's not like a 1031, no, but no. But anyway, so the other thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to meet other realtors because we want to share EXP. We want to build relationships with other realtors with different companies, not only just to recruit possibly, but just to develop positive relationships with other realtors, because you want influence with other realtors as well. Even if they're not with your company, not going to join your company, you do want to be somebody to them. You want to be known. And so even as a brand new realtor, you can get into this. So doing realtor education events. So let's talk about some possibilities of realtor education events. One idea is, in my county, there is a fantastic organization called Home Repair Services, and they've been around forever, for 40 years. And they started out just helping lower income homeowners who lived in their home and owned a home and lived in it, but they were lower income and needed certain repairs to the home that they couldn't afford, like a new roof or furnace. They will actually come repair or replace as part of their program. And what they do is the homeowners do pay a portion, like 15% or something, where they can make payments. It's really cool. But they also have a great, fantastic DIY program so that any homeowner in my county who lives in their home can get 30 hours of design coaching to redesign a kitchen. And they can buy at ridiculously below wholesale prices tile and flooring and cabinets and countertops and sinks and all these kinds of things to redo the kitchen. And as part of that, they take DIY classes that the program offers every Saturday. And we're talking electrical, plumbing, ceramic tile, flooring, landscaping, all kinds of things. So that's the deal, is if you agree to go to these DIY classes and you want to take part in this program and get 30 hours of a coach to help you, it's free, and you just pay for the material. So a person can actually redo their entire kitchen minus appliances for like $2,000 as opposed to $20,000 is how much it usually costs to do. And we're talking new cabinets and the whole deal. Anyway, they do all kinds of stuff, and they do foreclosure counseling and home ownership preparedness and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I do regular lunch and learns and realtor education events there because not enough realtors know about it. And I just get a lender to help sponsor it, and the home repair services people do the rest. And people come, and they, realtors love it, and they're so excited to learn about it. So that's an example. Here's another example. I was sitting on a plane next to a police officer a few months back, and I was telling him, we were talking about real estate and safety, because that's an issue with realtors and their safety. And so I was talking about this device that my board has called WearSafe. Maybe your board has it too. And where, basically push the button and, maybe, your loved ones will know where you are and maybe call the police or whatever, okay? So I was telling him about this, and he's like, that's great, but, by the time somebody got to you, you could be dead, basically, or something, you could be gone, And so he was talking about the importance of really understanding how to really defend yourself and buy yourself time. And so he was talking about that. And he was saying that, you know, he, as a police officer, he said, you know, real estate companies will call us and we will for free, as you know, our police department will for free teach self-defense classes to realtors. So, you know, he's like, call and get this done. So that's something I'm going to be doing as a free event. So it's a way for me to attract, other realtors to my space that I don't know, or get to know other realtors better and provide value. Get a lender to sponsor, or some other type of vendor to help sponsor, as far as, if, you know, refreshments or whatever, and be a part of it. And then you're setting yourself up as somebody who brings value. So that's another example. Now, if you have any other ideas, please type it in the chat. Referrals for a Living is a class, another that I brought, that 𝗀𝗄𝗃 in my area teaches. And so she taught that, and that was awesome. I've done some LinkedIn classes teaching realtors how to use LinkedIn, and I have actually a CPA who teaches that for me. Any financial advisor teaching real estate agents how to prepare for retirement, maybe even a health insurance rep who can help other realtors find good health insurance. So there's a variety of things, maybe a social media class. I've done that. I've taught how to find a really good and useful, affordable CRM and how to use it. I've taught Realty Juggler with that. There's a variety of things. So does anybody else have any other ideas of what you could do for realtors? Let's see. Awesome. Maybe you can refer us to your amazing lender. We get this clients once in a while. Marisol, we'll talk about it later, because message me in Workplace about that. And the Renovation Guru, I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean the home repair services? It's a Kent County program, and I don't think there's any other program like it exactly in the country, but there might be. So, you know, you have to find resources in your community that's going to work for you. But does anybody have any other ideas for different types of realtor education events? Besides that, there's networking. Networking not with just with other realtors, for like happy hours, for example. That's an easy one. But just with your network. So I hope that you all have read the book 7 Levels of Communication by 𝗀𝗍𝗄𝗃. It is a fantastic book. I've read it 3 times, and I keep trying to study it because there's a lot to it. But in that book is taught network stacking. And so this is a weekly event you can have for yourself, where you sit down at a coffee shop or restaurant maybe and set up 3 to 4 appointments in a row religiously every week with different people that you meet in your network. It's called, Rebecca, The 7 Levels of Communication by 𝗀𝗍𝗄𝗃, and that's M-A-H-E-R. The 7 Levels of Communication. Anyway, so what it's talked about is network stacking. And so what you do is instead of spending money on, you know, postcards and, buying leads on Zillow, you're going to shift your focus to relationships. And you are going to, find lenders, title reps, contractors, electricians, inspectors, hairdressers, attorneys, restaurant owners, anybody, a business, insurance person, anybody. You're gonna set up appointments with them. So you've got, starting maybe at lunchtime, and then every hour on the hour, like 3 or 4 more times. And as that first during that meeting, you're going to ask, what are your goals? What are you trying to do in your business? How is business going? What's happening in your life? Oh, interesting. Here's what I'm doing. And you know what? I have some ideas of things that I could help you with. And I've got, and you just help each other, and you help fill in gaps. And then when the next person comes, you introduce the person that's leaving to the new person. So you become a connector and you become somebody very powerful that way, and people think, wow, she knows people. You know, she's a mover and a shaker. So that's network stacking. And 7 Levels of Communication is a book. And the other, I'm just to mention now, in the same book, 7 Levels of Communication, they talk about housewarming parties. Has anybody done a housewarming party for one of their buyer clients? Something that I have been planning. I've got 2 clients that have moved into houses recently that agreed and were very excited of the prospect of doing it. And so what we're going to be doing is the lenders that help them with their deal are going to sponsor it with food, and I'm going to, you know, do my best to get all the invitations out to people in the neighborhood, people across the street, people next to their home, their friends and family. Like, I'm going to be their party planner and invite people to come to a short 1-hour housewarming party to meet the new neighbors type thing, and for the friends and family to come and see the new house. So, and this is something you're doing for your clients and adding value. You're meeting all their friends and family and neighbors. So housewarming parties. Does anybody else do that? Type in the chat if you've done that. Other types of events, community neighborhood events. You guys mentioned that earlier. So one thing I'm working on actually is a community garage sale. I actually bought a domain, Yard Sale GR, and I'm going to be promoting a yard sale with that and then what I'm going to do, I got this idea from another real estate agent, another EXP agent out of Vancouver, Canada. She told me about a lender that does this, and they promote it on one weekend, and then the day before the first day of the garage sale weekend, the lender goes and brings a balloon and a yard sale sign or garage sale sign or whatever the case may be to each person that signed up to take part in the yard sale with their information. It's just kind of a little promotion. So that would be an example of an event. The video, I told you, you can do video interviews you're doing, or even open house videos or walkthroughs. Those are events. You can schedule those. Here's an example. Oh gosh, I wish I could find it. If I find it, I'll show you at the end. Someone remind me. My business partner, Rebecca, and I, she's one of the first people I ever recruited at EXP. And so she's kind of like my person. We do a lot of work together, and we're kind of like yin and yang. I'm the one who always has the crazy ideas, and she's the one who's never sure about them, but she kind of does them anyway. And she's the one who tries to keep everything classy. Okay. And and so anyway, how it used to be is we used to meet with our little small group of people, realtors that were building here in my area. And she used to read us the newsletter from the board, and she would read it to us, and she would just make it so exciting. I never read our board newsletter that comes in our email every week, but she did, and she would make it sound so exciting. And I was always really interested and got a lot from it. And I thought to myself, gosh, I miss that. I so miss that, her reading the newsletter. So I came up with this idea to live stream, just like we are now. We're live streaming into EXP Power Girls, that we would do Rebecca reads the newsletter and Sylvia drinks wine. That's the name of our show, and it's an event. We do it every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm not going to do it today though, because I'm on vacation, so we're going to skip today. But we do it, and Rebecca reads the newsletter, and we do it on a Zoom meeting, so you can see my face and her face, and so it's our 2 faces together, and we're talking together, and we kind of banter back and forth, and we're both drinking wine, and people love this show because they don't read the newsletter either. But it's an event, and you know what? Now everywhere we go, other realtors like, oh, it's the girls who drink wine and read the newsletter. We know you. We go to an event, and the board president was like, oh, look at Kathy, Lee, and Hoda are here. You guys, we were nobodies before, and now we're somebodies because we do these video events every week. let's see. And she would have never done that if I didn't have that idea and I had to talk her into it. In fact, when I got the idea, I had a dream that night that she didn't want to do it, and I was really upset in my dream. And so in my dream, I worked it out that she did want to do it, and I worked it out. So I called her the next day. I said, listen, there's something, I have an idea. I think we should do it. I'm a little concerned maybe you won't want to do it. In fact, I had a bad dream that you didn't want to do it. But in my dream, I talked you into it and you agreed. So so I told her about it. She's like, okay, I'll do it. Oh gosh, anyway. Volunteering, obviously, getting together with other EXP agents to do this, or just on your own, but it is a way, obviously, to meet other people and give value. I already talked about just different social media events you can do, but one in particular, I know another EXP agent, I don't know if she's in here or not, but Julie Younger, no, she's not. Julie Younger out of Portland, she does Instagram events where it's a contest. People can enter to win a contest. She does it with a lender, and basically she does it from a restaurant. So they video themselves at a restaurant talking all about how great the restaurant is and whatever community they're in. And they talk about that area around the restaurant and all the great deals and specials and food or what drinks, whatever. And they say, hey, just enter to, just comment here and you're entered to win. It's just like they're just creating activity, and then they give a $25 gift card. And so that's an event they do. So there's just some examples. Finally, I want to talk about EXP Explained. That is your lunch and learn, where you are going to share the EXP presentation. So I have another group called Lady Boss. It's a mastermind for women who want to learn more about recruiting. Got some great information in there. There's also the EXP Attraction Services group. But basically, you guys learn the slide presentation, watch the video, 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗏explained.com, watch the video, it's thenewre.com, and watch it so many times and see it done so many times that you can start presenting it yourself and add your own spin in it. So with lunch and learns, EXP Explained, you get a lender, you get a title rep, you get one of these vendor types to help sponsor the lunch and learn. If you're new and you're not ready to present yet, then you show the model explained and push play. And then, if anybody has any questions afterwards, say, you know what, let's schedule a call, and you do a 3-way call with maybe your sponsor or somebody else in your revenue share group to answer that person's questions. So that's one way to do it, but you might get comfortable enough to do it yourself. Okay, does anybody have any ideas for more events? Okay, all right, moving along. It is 1:43, so we are going to boogie here. I want to show you some examples of events. All right. So this is one of the most recent events I had. It was a CE credit class. It was called Referrals for a Living. And I had 25 people in the room, which I was really pleased about. So realtors that some that I had never met and didn't know who they were. A couple brand new realtors who just got their license and hadn't chosen a company yet. And we did referrals for a living. So Gail, she got this was her first CE credit class because she just got it approved, and I invited her to come and do it for us in Grand Rapids. She's in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We're about an hour away. And so it was great, and we had a great time, and everybody loved it, and it was a lot of great new connections. As you know, I teach kvCore, and so this is an example. I taught kvCore in person, and you guys, this young woman here, Marion, she drove 3 hours, or maybe it was 2.5 hours from her home in Dearborn, Michigan, to come to my kvCore training. That she needed help. She did need help. This guy, Mike, he was actually from Florida, and he had just gotten out of the car for 30 hours. Did he come just for my event? No. But he was also going to see family, and it just worked out when he saw my event. He's like, I'll go from Lansing to Grand. I'll drive the extra hour to go. So, and there was a couple more people there too, but just at the end, these were left, so I got a picture. But it's great to meet other EXP agents too. But I've done other classes too, like teach LinkedIn or social media. I've taught the top 3 ways to, top 3 marketing tools, like I've taught in here before. I've taught a variety of classes and meet other realtors. So I'll teach my own classes. Clients. So you can, even if you're not ready to do a big event yet, you can do something small. Like, I used to work for a car dealership. I sold cars, and we talked about, and I sold Chevys, Chevy, and Chevy was really into like the Disney experience, right, for Disney. And one thing they talked about is celebrating the sale and just making it a really special deal, like acknowledging that new buyer of the car, of just how great it was, and acknowledging them and celebrating them. And, and it can be as simple as, let's take a picture together. That is like an event. You're making an event. You brought a gift, maybe, you make an event. So I have it to the bottom right here. I've got some clients that, we closed on a house. They were super excited, their first home, and the lender brought the gift. We were both there. The lender took our picture and made it an event. Now these are the couple, they're gonna have a housewarming party. They just wanna wait till the end of summer. So, so I made that an event, and that was great. These cute little couple on the bottom left-hand side, they were a referral from another EXP agent out of Arizona, and this couple was selling their home in Arizona and moving to Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I helped them buy a house, and then they were brand new in town, and so I had a birthday party, and you can see the palm trees and stuff in the back. Well, we don't have palm trees in Michigan, except I love palm trees, and there's one bar called the 𝗀𝗏 that myself and a few of my friends like to go to. And in the summer, they bring out palm trees and sand, and it is next to water on a little lake. So it makes you feel like you're on vacation. So anyway, both of these pictures here on the left-hand side are from the 𝗀𝗏 from 2 different times. But anyway, this little couple on the bottom left-hand side, they were my clients, and I invited them to my birthday party, and they totally came. And you know what? My friend Rebecca and a couple other real estate agents, do you know what they did? They invited some of their clients too. So we had actually 8 clients at my birthday party when we were just all talking and interacting, and they were talking about their deals and how it went on their purchase, and I had some other realtors there, and people I had sold cars with, and it was, and it was a really great time. And that can be a simple event. Or just getting together, the girls above, that was Bianca and one of her friends that she invited, and we just all met up for a drink and say hello, and that can be an event. It doesn't have to be huge. It's a start if you're nervous. Even just taking a picture, just when anything happens with a client, make it an event. So this lady, she brought me her EMD check, and I made it a big deal. She met me, we met up, and we, take pictures, because that is huge for making things exciting and make it like an event. Like, this is a big deal. It's an acknowledgement. And then you send them the picture. You can just text it to them and say, oh gosh, it was great to, see you again, and look forward to seeing you at closing, or whatever the case may be. Okay. Then you guys go to events. So that's Rebecca and I. We go to every event we can possibly go to that lenders put on usually, because, well, we get free drinks, and that's fun. But also we get to meet other realtors. So on the left-hand side, that's Rebecca and I at a 𝗫𝗃𝗄s game. 𝗫𝗃𝗄s is like a little farm team, baseball team. They're not like a big baseball team, but they're a farm team. So it's real relaxed and everything. But I met another agent that I'm working a deal with. And you know what? I am so glad I met him that night, because we actually spent some time talking, and we hung out for a bit. And I am so glad, because you guys, this deal is going south, and it's been really, really rocky. But I had met him right after we went on our contract at this event, and we spent time together and talked. And I think because of that, that's why the deal is still hanging on, because he and I had established some sort of friendship or understanding, and it's like we're on the same page now, because we're kind of at a new level than just a colleague. We had drinks together, and he told me about, I met his wife, and he told me about the deals he's got going, and I'm just so glad I went. On the right hand side, a lender hosted event, and then a few of us ended up going to a concert after that. And again, these are other realtors we met Down here, we went to Rebar. On the left-hand side, Rebar is a, it's an event. I know EXP did it. We had it at the shareholders meeting, but we have one at our board. And so these are other realtors, and now one of these in this picture is now an EXP agent. By the way, it just took a long time of developing relationships, but we hung out and we meet other realtors and just get together at a new level and talk about business and have fun together. People that you don't normally get to interact with. And then to the right-hand side is an event for a new builder touring some new homes. And again, seeing realtors I've never met before, getting out there, being somebody, becoming a person of influence. These are a couple guys that showed up at an event that one's a lender and one's a financial advisor. And he just crashed the party. And you know what? I referred people to him. He's referred people to me. It's great. And then finally, Jerry, this is for you. Everything starts with the balloon. So we were doing some door knocking, and we decided to make it a little more fun than just go and knock on people's doors and bring them a balloon. It costs $1 at the dollar store. And instead of just knocking on the door, we walk up and we're smiling. We've got these fun balloons. And then people are smiling when they open the door because they're like, wow, what is this? You know, and we make it an event. So we just say, you know, we're not Publishers Clearinghouse, but we do have some great news for you. You know, housing prices are going up. You're in a great equity position. Have you thought about selling? You know, and just make it an event. Okay, so there's a few just ideas I wanted to share. And it is 1:52. We are starting to come to a close. So, but I've got some, a few other important things to share with you. Okay, all right. We're going to talk about inviting really quick. So these are, when you're going to invite people, you want to do it through multiple invite channels. And, you know, for some people, you're going to want to pick up the phone and call. That's the best way, especially if you're going to do an EXP Explain to Lunch and Learn. You're going to want to pick up the phone and call, okay? A video, inviting through video, promoting an event through video. Actually, Patricia and I were talking about doing a video to promote this little event here, this class, yesterday, but just with me being on vacation and she had showings, we just could not get it together. But it would have been great if we could have. But doing videos leading up to the event. In fact, at Rebar, that we had at shareholders, one other EXP agent, and I cannot remember his name right now, but he works with the 𝗀𝗃𝗘 group, I believe, he talked about getting ready for lunch and learns and doing a series of like 6 videos promoting, short live videos promoting the event as it leads up to it to help promote. An email blast, of course, but you don't want to go too crazy on that because people get sick of that. Even sending a text message, maybe mailing a postcard. Handwritten note cards, you guys, are the bee's knees. In that book, 7 Levels of Communication, there's a story about an older agent in her 60s who needed some clients and targeted a apartment complex and was going to do a home buyer seminar. And so she actually handwrit with her hand 300 and some note cards in letting these people know, hey, there's a lot of affordable houses in your area, and you can buy a house for the same or less than you're paying in rent. And I'm going to show you how to do that at a home buyer seminar I'm hosting such and such a day. You know, call me to RSVP. And she got 77 return phone calls based on that. Now, did they all show up to the home buyer seminar? No. Did some of them call and say, I really want to come, but I can't be there? Yes. And then she came. It was really successful because she did the handwritten note card. Eventbrite, obviously, it's free, it's great. Then also creating a Facebook event. Also maybe using Meetup. The thing is with Meetup, you have to pay like $14 a month to be able to create events. Craigslist and door knocking. Those are some ways you can start inviting and promoting your event. Okay. Oops. Yes. Okay. So I think these numbers are wrong. We don't care. Okay. Just another thing to do is confirming your RSVPs and follow up with non-responders in multiple ways. So you're going to use the same methods as inviting. But, you know, in 7 levels of communication, the book I keep referring to, this is talked about. You know, if somebody invites you to an event, you're like, oh, okay, that's neat. Sure, thanks. All right, maybe they sent you an email. Oh, okay, you know. But if you get the email and you're like, all right, somebody picks up the phone and calls you to remind you about the event, you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm planning that. If you also get a handwritten note card, you know, you're like, wow, this person's serious. You know, if you get visited, you know, by that person, like in person, they're really serious. Send a text message, you know, just because we're so busy. You know, you just want to let that other person know the urgency and that it's still happening and it's on and you're expecting them. And if you do those things, you're going to have a much better turnout. Okay. So when you're doing these, you know, confirm directions and landmarks. Now, Sue, do you know where this is? Okay, you know, what you're going to do is go on so-and-so street. You're going to turn right at the McDonald's, and it's going to be on the left-hand side. You're going to see you know, make sure they know where to go. You know, let them know what time to get there and what's going to happen. You know, hey, now when you get there, we're going to be registering, and you're going to have time to grab a coffee and say hello to people, but we're going to start where everyone's sitting down. We're starting at 11:15 a.m., okay? Does that work for you? Great. And then the what's in it for me. Let them know what they're going to get. You know, you're going to get a chance to meet so-and-so, or you're going to get some great strategies to do something, or everybody that comes is going to get a gift from Mortgage One, the lender, or everybody that comes is going to get a free 𝗙𝗏𝗁 drip campaign. You know, whatever, come up with, let them know what they're going to get to confirm, so you get a stronger turnout, okay? And, you know, this is the other number 3 because I'm bad at math. I did not, let's pretend it's 4. I have no idea. Okay. So then at your event, before your event, make sure if there's a venue staff, make sure they know what to expect. So for example, I do a lot of my events, if they're lunch and learns or happy hours, I do a little restaurant called 𝗀𝗏𝗁𝗀. They have a great meeting room that can be private. And it's free for me to use the room as long as, you know, it's like the gratuities added on. And, you know, I try to send them an RSVP the night before, and I'll cancel it if there's not enough people. And so, but it works. It works. And so anyway, I get there early enough and to make sure who's the server, make sure they know what they're going to be doing, who's going to be paying the bill, what the agenda is going to be, what you need from them, so that they know. Okay, and get there early enough to make sure your technology is working, that you have materials set up, that you know how you want your seating. Have somebody, you know, help you greet, you know, welcome, get them registered. Anybody who didn't sign up, make sure you get their business card and, you know, their email address, phone number, name, you know, have somebody help you greet and welcome and register. And if it's not another agent, maybe it can be, you know, a friend, a spouse, you know, a sister, a mother, a child, okay? And then when the event starts, you're going to make connections and introduce people. And then you're going to, like, you know, clap your hands or whatever it takes to get people to sit and get ready, and then present, you know, introduce yourself, introduce what the event is, go over what the agenda is. And then for your speaker, whoever's going to start speaking, have somebody introduce them. So if it's going to be yourself, ask somebody to introduce you as the speaker. Okay, so have them come and say something, you know, good about that speaker, how they know the speaker, what, you know, you think that they're going to learn from the speaker, something really simple, and then have the speaker speak. And then be a good facilitator of time. Make sure you're, you know, on time the best you can be, and help move things along and let the speaker know how much time they have. Like, okay, we've got about 10 minutes. You know, make sure you honor any promises. Like if you promised any, you know, what's in it for me materials, that those are delivered upon, you know, like, or whatever you thought you were going to get, like whatever you promised that they were going to learn, make sure that was done. You know, close it up, be real clear that you're done, it's closing, how to exit, whatever the case may be. And if there's any follow-ups to schedule them, okay? All right, now the magic is in the follow-up, and we're gonna call this number 5, okay? So here's your follow-up steps. So you're ready? The magic is in the follow-up. You can't just have the event and just hope that somebody calls you, okay? So on day 1, that same day, any promises you made, like I am going to reach out to you, or I'm going to share that referral with you, or I'm going to let you know what that person's number is, or, this resource material, you make sure you do that same day so that you honored all those promises, okay? On day 2, send a text to everybody that came and just compliment something about them, like enjoyed your energy there, it was good to see you smile there, I'm so glad that I got, that you got to meet so-and-so, or it's just nice to catch up, or it was good to meet you even. And don't ask for anything, just ask for nothing. Just so glad, thank them for coming, and you're just glad to meet them, or whatever the case may be. And then day 3, then write a handwritten note card. Okay, just a handwritten note card, and give them a PS, a call to action. In 7 levels of communication, there are steps to how to write a powerful note. A power note is what he calls it. And so there's always a PS, call to action. Give me a call to do this, or email me to do that, whatever kind of call to action that you can come up with. Or visit my website to whatever, okay? On day 4, send a follow-up email with a call to action. Day 5, actually pick up the phone and call if you haven't already. And then from that point, initiate or continue some sort of drip campaign that you've created specifically for this type of event, that will include at least email, but maybe some snail mail, calls, text, action items, call, text, whatever your action items are, so that this drip campaign will just start. My very first home buyer seminar I put them all on a long drip campaign using Realty Juggler, and I totally forgot about it. And then since then, I've had 2 people call me, a year later to get help finding a lender or get started or whatever. And then, or maybe they weren't ready, but they did refer somebody to me because I kept in touch. I didn't even mean to keep in touch, but I had them on a drip campaign. And then invite them to a future event if that's what's necessary. So that's it, you guys. That is how you are going to build your business, your referral business, and your influence and your expertise in your market by doing events. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, somebody said leave behinds. Yes, suggestions. It kind of depends, Tama, on your purpose. So if you are knocking on doors to invite people to the open house you're going to have in that neighborhood, then leave an invitation, a door hanger invitation, or just a flyer. If you're knocking on the door because you want them to know what their home value is, then leave behind from the RPR report what their home value is. And I talk a lot about that in a few of my other videos. There's one video I have called, 2 videos I have on my 𝗀𝗃𝗄𝗃 on my website. I'm sorry, where is it? It's on, if you go to my YouTube channel, Forward Thinking Real Estate, there's 2 videos. One is how to generate seller leads with RPR, and another one is 5 ways to make 𝗀𝗃𝗄𝗃 your new best friend, and I talk a lot about that. Yeah, so tell me to introduce yourself as a realtor in the area. Great. What you definitely want to have in that introduction is a call to action. So what I would do if you are introducing yourself as a new realtor in your own subdivision, I would kind of plan out the houses you're going to go to, and kind of know where you're going, and just go on and knock on the door. And you know what? You can just leave your card. Here's how simple it can be. You can leave your card and take like a Sharpie just so it shows up on your card, or put a sticky note, write a sticky note that says, give me a call about your house. Give me a call about your house, and put that sticky note on your card and stick it in the door. You can, that is how simple it can be. In the live video that you do of reading the newsletters, yes, so we have a private group for our board called Rebar, and I Facebook stream that right in there. Now, in the beginning, what I did is I just recorded it on Zoom, and then I uploaded it into my YouTube channel called Girls Gone Real Estate. I decided to brand us as something. And then I just shared the YouTube video in the group and said, hey, everybody, you know, I kind of quick explained the story. Rebecca used to read the newsletter in our meetings, and we stopped doing it. I missed it. So I thought we'd start it up again, but just share it with everybody. So we made a video, and we named it, you know, Rebecca reads the newsletter, Sylvia drinks wine. What do you think? And oh my gosh, we had so much great feedback. They were like, yes, do this. And the president and the vice president and a bunch of other staff were like, this is awesome. Keep doing this. And so now we just do it every week. Okay, any final questions? It's 2:06. I gotta go. Does anybody have any other questions? Great. I'm so glad, Suzanne. I hope you got something out of it. You know, sometimes when I'm doing this class, it's weird because I feel like I'm just talking and talking and talking, and you know, I've got you on mute, so it's hard to know what the feedback is. What I will do is when I'm finished here, I'm going to put the link I'm going to fix up my numbers here, fix up my slides, and I'm going to post it right in the EXP Power Girls group. Okay? You guys are welcome. Have a great rest of your day, and wish me a happy rest of my vacation. Okay, bye everybody.